Hello everyone and welcome to This Day. Today is Saturday Fun Day, and it's Saturday, September 9th. I'm Bobby Higgins. I'm so happy to be here with you today. We have a great show coming your way. First off, we have Beverly with the Reformed Temple of Laguna Woods. She's going to join us via Zoom. Coming up this month is the most important time of the year in the Jewish religion, and there are lots of spiritual days for prayer and cleansing. Beverly will give us all the information, plus some fun events that they have scheduled as well. And after the Reformed Temple, you are in for a special treat as the legend Bob Eubanks joins us. Did you know before he was a TV personality, he was a disc jockey? Well, he has quite the story, or stories actually, with a particular band I'm sure that you know, the Beatles. And Bob is here to tell us about a show that's coming here to the Village later this month that he has put together called Backstage with the Beatles. So you're going to enjoy this. Coming up now, let's take a look at the weekend forecast, the weather forecast. It's going to be hot this weekend and sunny today and tomorrow. Temperatures will be at their highest. Today is sunny and hot with a high of 91 and a low of 66. On Sunday, it'll be cloudy in the morning, but then mostly sunny with a high of 92 and a low of 69. Sunrise and sunset, 6:30 a.m. and sunset is at 7:07 p.m. If you would like to have your picture highlighted here on This Day, please email it in to us. Stay with us because up next we have the Reformed Temple of Laguna Woods. We'll be right back. Welcome to This Day. Now joining me, we have Beverly Generu. She is with the Reformed Temple of Laguna Woods. So Beverly, welcome. I'm so glad to meet you.
Thank you, Bobby. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Tell me about the Reformed Temple. What does this club mean to you?
The Reformed Temple was organized a little over 25 years ago, and it's the only Jewish religious organization that is within the gates of Laguna Woods Village. It provides an opportunity for spiritual representation and involvement for the Jewish community here. There's so many people that have difficulty, either driving or getting around. And this way it's close by. It's right here. And it's a very active group of people.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, and there are a lot of spiritual days coming up. I guess this is the holy season. Tell me about this.
Yes, we're just approaching the high holidays. And this is the most religious, most important season of the year. It's similar to the Christians' Easter season or the world of Islam with Ramadan. It's a very highly important time of year, and the days start off with Rosh Hashanah, which will be beginning Friday evening, September 15th. We'll be having services, excuse me, at 7:30 p.m. in Clubhouse 5, and they'll be led by our Rabbi Joe Mendelson and Cantor John Guest, with Juanita Sue leading our High Holidays choir. They're very busy in preparations now. It takes a lot of work preparing for these services, but they're going to be beautiful and meaningful as always. Temple members receive tickets to all of the observances, and we will have bus service available with reservations. It's important to get reservations for those. Anyone wanting to become a member, if you're planning on it, on renewing membership or considering joining the temple, this is the time to do it. And you can contact Lynn Rosenstein or Carol Sandusky to inquire about membership. And prior to the service, there's going to be a dinner. It's at 5 p.m. in Clubhouse 5 also. and reservations need to be made by September 9th. So if you're interested in the dinner, please make reservations. It's $35 per member, $40 for non-members, and it's a choice of brisket, chicken, or vegetarian. So contact Susie Levin, if you are interested in going to the dinner before services.
And so this would be the dinner on Friday, September 15th?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's just prior to services, is the same location. And then the following day, there's a morning service. And in the afternoon at 3 p.m., there's what's called a tashlich service, and it takes place at the creek. And tashlich is where we throw our sins on the water, and that's why it's down at the creek, because you have to have moving water. So that's a fun time with singing and prayers, and it's very nice.
That's wonderful. And then on the eve of September 24th, you have young.
Well, the season ends, the Rosh Hashanah season, which is all about true contrition and repentance for sins, for asking forgiveness for God for the sins you've committed against God, and asking your fellow man for any sins that you've committed against them, to be truly contrite. And you want to do this during this season and on Yom Kippur, which finalizes the season, the holy days. And Yom Kippur is called the Day of Atonement. And those services will begin with the Kol Nidre, which is it's a chanted prayer that that says, if any vows we've made during the year that we didn't really mean, it kind of stems from the time of the Inquisitions, when people were forced to make vows and do things that they didn't really believe. And you're sorry you did it, you have to do it, but gee, we're sorry we did it. And that's what Kol Nidre is about. And then that service is in the evening, but the following morning, we're going to have barrels from South County Outreach in front of Clubhouse 5. And those are for donations of perishable goods that will be collected for the community. And our members will bring them. People attending the service will bring these goods to the barrels. But anyone in the community is invited to join us in donating to South County Outreach. So the barrels will be there that morning. And at the conclusion of the services, they'll have afternoon services, which include Yisker, that's a memorial prayer. And after that, they will have what's called a break the fast, because very religious people fast during Yom Kippur. And there'll be a break the fast meal, for which also reservations are required.
Okay. Sounds like a very spiritual and wonderful upcoming next few weeks. So thank you.
It is, Bobby. And at the end of it, you do feel a renewal. You know, it's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling and a great time of year.
So you mentioned about membership and things. So can you come if you're a non-member, or do you need
Yes,
a member?
yes, there are tickets that will be sold. You can contact, and the information for that is on our website. And so, yes, that's a possibility.
Okay. And then prior to the high holy days, the temple is initiating a bereavement group.
We feel there's a need for that within our community. And that's going to start on September 11th. And it's going to focus on those who've recently lost a loved one. The topic of this initial meeting will be coping with the holidays after a loss. So it's in preparation for the holidays as well. And I think we all go through bereavement. We all go through grief. It can be really helpful to be with others at that time. So this group will be formed and will be meeting from 1 to 2:30 p.m. and contact Rachel Foreman, anyone who is interested in attending that.
Okay, and this is, you said 1 p.m. on next Monday, September 11th. And this is
1
where?
p.m. to 2:30
This is at the
p.m.
temple?
Contact Rachel Foreman and they'll get the information of where it's
Okay.
going to be held.
All right, and then you have, looks like a really fun event coming up on October 17th, and this will be at the Seagerstom Center for the Arts. This sounds incredible. Tell us about this event.
Yes, it's always fun to go on a trip to something, especially a musical. The musical that we're going to this time is called Ain't Too Proud. It's a story of the Temptations. It's won lots of awards. The cost for this includes bus transportation, and it leaves promptly from the towers at 6 p.m. So anyone who would like tickets to go to see Ain't Too Proud, please contact Rachel Foreman for information and reservations.
Okay, and Rachel Foreman, her number is 714-245-0414. So that's how you can call to purchase your seat and be on the bus and be able to go check out this really nice event. And okay, so you have a connections committee. Tell me what this is about.
We do. The Connections Committee are phone calls, and we call temple members and give them resource information and answer questions regarding the temple, and especially we check on the well-being of our members. And this started during the pandemic, but it's ongoing. There's a lot of people in our community who are alone, and we want to make sure that they're okay, that they're not, they can be very lonely, especially at the holidays. So anyone who wants information on or would benefit or know someone who would benefit from a phone call, if they would call Lisa Bender, we'd appreciate that too.
Okay.
And then also we've got our book club coming up again on September
Yes.
19th, 10 a.m. They're going to be discussing the book To Repair a Broken World by Dvorah Hacohen. And it is the biography of Henrietta Schulte, founder of Hadassah. And it introduces a new generation to a remarkable leader who fought for women's rights and the poor. And all members are welcome and can call Harriet Schwartz for more information.
Okay.
And
that
and
sounds.
then we always have our Friday night services, and everyone's welcome to attend them, Bobby. They take place at 7:30 p.m. in Clubhouse 1. And the Jewish Community Foundation provides handicap accessible bus transportation by AgeWell, the first Friday services of each month. And the bus driver will help people who need to, they'll come to the door actually and help the person to get to the bus and bring them there. You have to have reservations for the bus and Lisa Bender at 949-200-7083 can make those reservations for you. Please note that at our services, current COVID vaccinations are mandatory. Masks are not required, but we really encourage them for the most vulnerable in our community. Please, please take care of yourselves.
Absolutely.
And to learn more about anything involving the temple, you can find information by calling our hotline at 949-589-1160, or you can check our temple website, which can be accessed through the Laguna Woods Village website under clubs.
Great, perfect, wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. It was really nice to meet you, and I appreciate you getting the message out. So
it's my pleasure, Bobby. Thank you for having us and giving us this opportunity to let the community know what we're involved in.
Absolutely. And many blessings to you in the upcoming holy days.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Stay with us. We'll have more of This Day right after this. Welcome back to This Day. We have a really special guest here. We have legend Bob Eubanks joining us. Thank you so much.
Legend, that means you're old if you're a legend. Yeah.
Or you've had an extremely successful career.
I've had a good time for sure, but I'm coming here and I'm really excited because I found out that I'm the only living person to have produced a Beatle concert. All 3 years they toured. So we put together a show called Backstage with the Beatles, and I tell seldom or never before heard stories that lead up to music. And I have a Beatle band on stage with me, and we're going to be here, and I'm excited, on September 23.
That's right. Yeah, I know. What an amazing concept of an idea. I just think this is such a stunning idea to tell the stories and tell the memories and the things that you experienced with them.
I found out the Beatles are the only group where the age starts at like 10 and goes to 90, you know.
Yes.
It's amazing how their fans have just sustained, and you know, they're amazing guys. Today, by the way, is the day that John Lennon and Paul McCartney met in 1957.
No way, on this day.
Yeah.
And were they at school, or what was, how did they meet?
I think so, yeah. I'm not really sure. I didn't get that part of it, you know. But I tell really interesting stories, and about 80% of them happened to me. But there are some really, can I tell a story?
Absolutely, please
Okay,
share.
I'm gonna tell a story. This is one of the stories that I'll be telling that evening, so here we go. Paul McCartney had a medley in his head, but he didn't have any words to it. And so he called it Scrambled Eggs. So he walked around for 2 weeks singing scrambled eggs, scrambled eggs, scrambled eggs. And he finally put the words to it. And Scrambled Eggs became one of the most recorded songs in the history of music. Scrambled Eggs became Yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that something?
Really?
Yeah.
It's just so incredible to me how musicians come up with songs, how they hear the sounds in their head, or they have maybe a poem they've written and then how they put it all together. I just find it so incredibly fascinating. Your career has been incredibly fascinating. I did not know until yesterday that you had started out as a disc jockey.
Yeah, I started out at a little bitty radio station in Oxnard, California, and I was working midnight until 8 in the morning. And I wanted to do what the big guys do. I wanted to have a rock and roll album giveaway contest. So I went to the manager and I said, I need 2 albums. He said, I'm not going to give them to you. So I had to go buy 2 albums. And I must have mentioned it 50 times that night, next week, and you know. And I finally came up with an idea. Okay, rock and roll album giveaway time. I'll give them to the first person that calls. Nobody called. So I made up a name and I took them home. And I realized right then that I'm talking to myself. So one morning I get off the air and in my little Volkswagen, I drive to the hot news station in Southern California, KRLA. I just wanted to see what the big guys look like. And I'm sitting in the lobby, and the DJs are having a meeting, and I could tell that the all-night man had a sore back, and nobody wanted to sit in for him because they worked 3 hours, and he worked 6. So I walked up to the program director, and I said, "Oh, hi there, I'm a disc jockey." He says, "Do you belong to the union?" I said, "No, but I can." And I borrowed $360, joined the union, and I went on the air that night. And I was there 7 years.
Wow, what a story. That is crazy, just to walk in the door and then make it happen.
At that radio station, by the way, we had these steps over in Pasadena at the Sheraton. And the girls used to come and sit on the steps when they wanted to meet the disc jockeys. And there was a guy who would come with his guitar and play and sing out there too. His name was Charlie Manson.
Oh boy.
So anyway, back to the Beatles.
Yes, yes. Well, and then I just wanted to touch upon that. A lot of people probably know you from the Newlywed Game or the Rose Parade. And funny enough, I actually auditioned for the Newlywed Game, my husband and I, when we first were married. Yeah.
Do you have children?
We do now, yes. We have 5 children, yeah.
Oh, well, you already knew what Whoopi was. Why wouldn't you? You don't want to be on the show. Gosh.
So what gave you the idea to bring the Beatles to America?
Well, I travel with a live game show, and I noticed that there's so many people that still enjoy the Beatles and the Beatles music. It has no age restriction at all. So I figured I could put together a one-of-a-kind show. And we've been really successful with it. Back in April, I did 5 dates for the Distinguished Speakers Organization here in Southern Cal. And it's just been really successful, and we've got great comment. And I'm very happy because it's a one-of-a-kind show. And if you enjoy the Beatles music, you're gonna love our show, because I tell seldom or never before heard stories. And like I say, about 80% of the stories happened to me during the 3 years that I did the Beatles. I mean, I have all kinds of stories that you're gonna enjoy, believe me, along with the music of Ticket to Ride.
And these stories are from, so it was 1964, that was the first.
64, I did Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
Had a partner and made $4,000. They would only let me charge $7. All 3 years, $7 was the top price.
And so what would that be equivalent to today's prices?
Well, I don't know that, but all I can tell you is it was a lot of work, and I swore that I would never do another one after the 64. But then they came back to me and said, the Beatles want to play the Hollywood Bowl. I said, okay, but I won't do it unless I can have 2 nights. So I paid them $90,000 flat at the Hollywood Bowl. But I got smart. The Beatles in 64 made the radio station I was working with, KRLA, #1.
Really?
So I went to the radio station and I said, okay, let's make it KRLA and Bob Eubanks present. And I want $100,000, and I want a 5-day work week, and I want to go from 15,000 to 20,000 a year. And so the next 2 years, Dodger Stadium was incredible. I got some great stories about Dodger Stadium. But it's a fun night. So be sure and come and see us. It's called Backstage with the Beatles, and you'll love it. If you like music and if you like the Beatles, I promise you that.
It sounds like a fascinating show. If I can, I'm going to try and score a ticket. I would love to come see it.
Hey, you know somebody, don't you hear?
I should. I know. I think I have connections now.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, your 5 kids can't come, but that's...
Right. So, but yeah, going back to the last concert at Dodger Stadium, I was reading that was the concert the Beatles couldn't leave the show, that all the fans were figuring out where they were. And
well, I'm not going to tell the story.
You were there that night,
but
I assume?
I will tell you, the Hells Angels were involved, and that was really scary. But it was Dodgers. It was the second to the last show they ever appeared in for money. They went to San Francisco, and that was it for money.
Did you know at that time that they were probably going to be breaking up soon?
Yes.
Like they were definitely very weary by that point?
Yeah, and you know, John had made the comment, the Beatles are more popular than Jesus, and he had to answer every question in the world. And it was really unfair to him because well, I won't say that. Never mind. Anyway, we'll talk about it, okay?
Oh my gosh. So what would you say? Oh, I know. Here's a story that you talked about that I saw on your promo tape, and it was for the Hey Jude song. How did that come about?
Yeah, when John and his wife were getting a divorce, their little son, Julian, was really hurt about it. And he was a good...
Do you remember how old he was at that point?
No, I don't remember, but he was a good friend of Paul's. And so Paul, he was going to go over to the house just to, you know, make him feel better and everything. And on his way over, he kept singing Jules, Jules. And by the time he got to their house, he had written, Hey Jude.
And what a great song.
Yeah. Sure
And
is.
so the other neat thing of that, the whole idea of what you created, I think, is just such a great way to do this, and that you have the tribute band is there as well.
Yeah, and it's my favorite tribute band, Ticket to Ride. You'll love them. They're wonderful, and I take them everywhere I go when I can, for sure.
How did you find them?
They were local, and I had a lady working for me that was a huge Beatle fan, and she told me about them. I went to see them, and you know, they even look like the Beatles. I mean, they're really wonderful. They really are.
Well, definitely. So let's go over the dates again and the time. And it's coming up. It's September 23rd.
Yep.
7 p.m. It's going to be here in Laguna Woods Village
That's
at
right.
the PAC, the Performing Arts Center. And so tickets are $45, $35, and $30. So I assume that's depending
And by
on how
the way,
close
the
you get.
Beatles would only let me charge $7 all 3 years, and I.
And so who decided that? The Beatles said, we don't want to make it too high for our fans, or?
Brian Epstein, their manager. You know, they loved him, but I thought he cost them several millions of dollars. First of all, they didn't have any merchandise. Okay? I mean, there are rock and roll acts that go out now and only live off the merch.
Right.
And he made a comment one time. I said, Brian, why are you charging? He said, I want everybody to save their money to buy albums. And I went, huh? You know.
Because back then, that was how you made most of the money, was on
Yeah.
the album sales,
But,
correct, right?
Yep.
Well, it definitely seems like you're going to, I feel like it's you're taking the audience on a journey.
I am.
And it's going to be quite
And
memorable.
wait till you hear what happened with the Beatles over at Elvis's house. Ooh, it's fun.
Some great stories.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. What is the most memorable or fulfilling part of your career, would you say, to this point? Because you don't seem to be retired yet.
No, I'm not. The star on the Walk of Fame was a real thing for me.
Quickly, you said the star is at the location.
Where I got fired, yes. That was a big moment for me. I don't know, I've had so many wonderful times. I have a theory in life that you take what you know and you try to apply it in other areas. And that's what I've been able to do. And I've had a great time.
Well, an amazing innovator, and it's so pleasant to talk with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you much.
And I wish you all the success with this show. What a great idea.
And you're a good makeup person, you know that.
I've had a little experience.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Bobby.
Well, thank you.
See you on the 23rd of September. Be there, be
September
square.
23rd, that's right. Don't miss it. It's going to be a fabulous night. September 23rd at 7 p.m., the Performing Arts Center. So definitely get your tickets now. And stay with us, because we have a whole much more coming up today on this day.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. Remember me? I'm the king of whoopee. And you're watching Village Television. But everybody does.
I hope you all have a wonderful, enjoyable weekend. For This Day, I'm Bobby Higgins. We'll see you next week.